Hello everyone. Today my Golf decided not to start. After 20 years of ownership, it decided not to start once in its lifetime. So this is the first failure which I couldn't use the car actually. So I turned the key and only a click sound was heard. I quickly diagnosed the problem as being the starter motor because I took the multimeter and I put it on the leads of the battery, and while I was cranking, the voltage dropped from 12.3 to 11.7 or something. So not a significant draw of power from the starter motor, meaning something has failed, and it was not this coil. So only this coil makes the clicking sound, which ejects the actual mechanism which engages on the tooth on the flywheel. So only this was happening, but not the turning action. Okay, so I decided to refurbish the entire starter motor because that was the logical thing to do. So I dismantled it, I cleaned it thoroughly, everything. So it's pretty easy to dismantle from the car. I didn't film this, but you need only a 13 millimeter socket and an 18 millimeter for these two large bolts. And on top of these two large bolts, there are two 13 millimeter which hold the bracket for some wiring on top and below the power steering line, and a 13 millimeter which connects the lead, the very thick black wire directly from the battery here, and this connector which has only two tabs. You squeeze and it's on, it's off. Apart from that, you need to dismantle the battery holder below to get easier. I bet you can do it without dismantling it, but it's easier, or for me at least it was easier. And then everything, the whole starter motor is lifted from the car from above. So now I cleaned everything as best as I could, and I brought a new brushes from Bosch. As you can see, the old one and the new one has slightly different design, but the problem with mine was corrosion here, where this coil actually screws on and feeds the starter motor, the rotor of the starter motor. So this is a high draw of current. As you can see, the design of the old one, it's looks more complicated with brass. This is plastic, but this lead here is copper, so the old one was some sort of stainless, I guess. So plus and minuses, but this looks like a more simplified, cost-effective design. Whatever. So mine was corroded actually here and was not able to supply enough current to the starter motor, so nothing was happening, just the clicking sound. Of course, there can be the problem with the starting coil, but when you have problem with this, nothing happens, even not the clicking sound. Okay, so now I will put everything back together, and of course taking it apart is the reverse. So I did not film when I was taking it apart, but it's relatively easy, apart from this side which I wanted to dismantle. But here it's a snap ring which I couldn't dismantle, so I just... Okay, I forgot to mention, there are also some bushings. There is a kit with some bushings inside. So this bushing from here, in which sits this rotor, so like so, but this has no air, so I didn't replace it. One bushing is here, is here, and one is actually here, but this also doesn't have anywhere. So this is a 280,000 kilometer car, just for reference. So I will start by lubing everything up, starting from these here and also here. I don't know if you can see it, but inside there is a helicoidal sort of mechanism which ejects this. So I will also lube this up. I am using lithium grease for high temperature applications. So I'm applying this grease here on these splines. See, it's nice and greasy. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. So now this sits like so. So you align these two holes with the holes of the screws. So the large screws pass the entire body of the starter motor, and you align these two. Or the other side. Let me just check. Because yeah, like so. Because here, so you could put this 180 degrees, but it's not natural. So also you align the holes from the screws, and here you can see a cutaway which looks as it should. Now let's put this gear mechanism with these three. Let me just move it like so, so it's a little closer, like this. Okay, these three rubber pieces, and this sits just here, doesn't have any orientation. We lube up. I lube up these shafts, because these shafts accommodate these three small satellites, gearing satellites, and these are on small needle bearings. So like so. And everything, I will lube everything up generously. Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's put some extra, just to be sure, like so. Good. Let me clean my fingers. Now we insert this shaft, which I will also lube up. This spline, I mean, it's not splines, it's splines, I guess. Like so. Also the shaft. Good. Oh, I almost forgot this, right? Yeah, I forgot this. Look, this small piece. Well, of course, I'm not doing this every day, so yeah, like so. So this, actually, this is the other way around. You see, it has two holes which go inside here, like so. Yeah, that is more correct. So now this cap, which I also lube up the cap, and I bet this also has an orientation. Let me just see how this should be, because these small tabs engage somewhere. Obviously these are the screw holes, like so, but no, the other way around. So these line up here, and also the screw holes, correct? Now we insert the rotor, like so. Okay, now we'll take the stator with the magnets, which are also cleaned and slightly painted. Okay, now I have here the stator with the magnets. I also cleaned it. Inside there was some gunk and grease, and slightly painted it. Now you also should, before putting together, I used in my case 1000 grit sandpaper to refinish these collectors, so they are nice and shiny and make a good contact with high current draw, like so. And you shouldn't touch this, so once you clean it up, you should clean it with some isopropyl alcohol or some brake cleaner, like so, and just wipe off any grease, because grease doesn't conduct electricity. And now you install this with this notch. So here is a notch. This notch will sit here, like so. Okay. And now the new brushes go inside. So as you can see, it has this adapter piece, which helps you push in the brushes, because these are spring loaded. So once you take this apart, all the 4 brushes will press against the contacts there. So this just pushes in, like so. You mount this rubber grommet here, and you just push it, and that's it. It's in place. And now I should slightly grease this bushing here and put the cap back in. So only a small tiny amount of grease, it's sufficient. And also here, yeah, like so. Not too much, because it will make everything here a mess. And this tab here should sit on this rubber thingy. Now you put this cap on, but this cap should be filled with some grease, like so. Let me just put some. Shit. You need to put this spacer in here, but I will need a small screwdriver. Just a sec, because the rotor is slightly inside, so just lift it slightly So this slot here is visible, and you can push this blocking washer, which keeps the shaft from moving around longitudinally. Okay, and now there is a small I guess it's a gasket, a paper gasket, and let me just clean this contact surface. And now this doesn't have any orientation, so just slides on like so, and oops, you put back these two screws. I don't know the torque values or anything, I just screw them in so they are nice and tight, so this does not run everywhere. This also keeps in place this cap and also the brushes, because this screws in the backing plate of the brushes like so. Should be enough. Let me clean off the excess grease like so. And now the two screws like so. These are 6mm screws, sorry, 7mm screws. Again, I don't know the torque values of these, but nice and tight is a good torque value. Just before you thread in the last couple of threads, make sure you engage this piece here in that plastic piece there, like so, because afterwards you will not be able to I cannot see it. So like so, this is engaged. Now press everything back together like so, and good. Now for the final part, let's put the coil in. So the coil, you see the marks here as I dismantle it. It was let me just check, everything sits flush. So I believe this is easier, so I will put the spring here, maybe like so. So I'm putting the spring here by holding it with some screwdriver and just in a, okay. Okay, like so. And now only the tension of the spring is pushing this back like so. So I will hold it like this and put in the screws, which the screws use 25 torques. Let me just with my screwdriver. I didn't prepare my screwdriver, so yeah. And just okay, as you can see here, one screw, it was screwed up. So when I dismantling it, the head of the screw was stripped, and that means that either you drill a hole in it and use a new screw if you have, or what I did, I kept drilling a bigger hole here with a drill bit and then hammered inside the T40 torque screw, and I was successful in taking this off, because otherwise I would have to dismantle to destroy the screw. So take the drill bit and destroy the head of the screw, so then I can remove this. Of course, when you're doing only this kind of maintenance, what I did, you don't need to dismantle this. Even it was not necessary for me, but I had to. So whatever, if you have to dismantle this, you know that maybe these screws will not be cooperative. So yeah, now I will put it back here because we need to make the connection, which I thoroughly cleaned with sandpaper, and make sure these contacts are very clean, because if there is some imperfections, then this will heat up and just burn your contact, and eventually this will not start anymore, and you will not know why. So I believe this I will actually take this needle nose plier and install this. So I'm making sure I'm not touching it, so I'm not putting any grease between the contacts to create an imperfect, not perfect contact. So yeah, and you tighten it down with a 13mm, and that's it, like so. So everything is put back. I mean, you can test this by connecting it to your car battery. So you put the negative on the casing, the positive, the permanent positive on here on this lead, and then with another positive lead you touch this pin here, and then it should start spinning immediately while this jumps out and spins. That should be a normal operation. Now you should put it back in your car and enjoy your new refurbished starter motor. Thanks for watching, and bye.